Honestly, two of the characters deserve better. Obviously, horror movies usually do all good characters or all bad characters, but every now and then there's a movie that gives you a bunch of shitty characters and two decent people. And this movie has a cop that risked his life instead of instead of waiting for backup. He risked his life to go save the people because he knows there's not going to be enough time. They're already going to be dead by the time backup arrives. And what he gets in return is as soon as he walks into the building, he tells the girl, "It's okay, it's going to be fine, you're safe now." And the killer comes with an axe and just kills him. Then we got Brandon, who's like the only decent character in the movie that's not the cop. We got this one girl that tried to kill her abusive dad. Tried to burn him in a fire and said that she would do it again. It's messed up, but I get the part because the cops wouldn't help her. But she could have just moved away or something. Try and move in with a family member, move out of the city. I don't know. Not your first thought be, well, I'm gonna literally murder him. And then she does it again, but this time it's justified because it's self-defense. He somehow survives anyway. But back to the point, Brandon is the only good person in the movie. I just told you about that girl. The guy on the cover right there is a bit of a dick and calls her a pussy and tells her she has to do it because she signed up for it and basically forces her to do this thing. To do the thing that they signed up for. Though he does sacrifice himself in the end because she's his family member and he loves her. He definitely was not very nice to her. And she didn't really do anything in this movie, so we barely know anything about her to care about her. There's Jason, who's a bit of an asshole. And the first thing he does when he realizes when he's on TV is show his naked ass. He just pulls his pants down and says, "I bet you can't show that on TV." And he just, before we even really get to know him, he gets blown up. Because they all have to do their worst fear that they told the company, and he told the company his worst fear is somebody operating on him when he's awake. So, he refused to play the game at all and got blown up. Because he was going to have to do that. And this guy just makes everything, like, extreme. Your worst fear is the fear of the dark. Well, better put some guns into that fear. Your worst fear is germs? Well, here's a bunch of rats. Like, jeez. Talk about overkill. Your worst fear is losing your brother? Well, now you have to choose whether you live or he lives. There's absolute overkill on these things. Anyway, Brandon tries to help everybody, though I don't understand one thing about this movie. They had a little bit of a chance to save the brother and they did nothing. They kind of just watched and yelled at the guy. They yelled at the camera to tell him to stop. But they don't even try and save him. Even though all they have to do is like rip the boards away and stuff, which they end up doing after he's killed. Now we'll try and get in there after he's already dead and gone to go help the girl after she just watched her brother get murdered. Thank you so much. Brandon's worst fear is the fear of the dark, so eventually when he plays the game, there is a tripwire and a thing he loves and, kind of helps him because, it helps him with his fear, obviously, and gets rid of his fear, is actually painful in this. The light. This guy has like this burning hot light. You press a button and a light turns on, but it also really hurts you. You get your face burnt. So when he turned it on, he realized and used his lighter after a little bit because, it was way too bright to see that there was a tripwire. He's like, you know what? I'm going to turn the light again. I can't see very well. Turns the light on again, sacrificing his eyes because it burns. And he sees that there's a bunch of guns set up to the tripwire. He gets the crap shot out of him because he was just doing this to help the girl. He was facing his own fear, using a lighter that he could barely see anything with, just to help this girl escape and go get help for the other girl. And he just gets shot the crap out of, and he survives it. Then he goes through the exit or something to try and get out, and he's rewarded by getting a pole stuck right through his stomach by one of the girls because she was just scared shitless and heard somebody coming, so she just picked up a pole and just stabbed whoever she saw. So poor Brandon just got killed. So I really felt bad for Brandon in this movie. But it had to happen, I guess. Anyway, they lock him in a room without really anything to get out and leave him to burn. And he ends up surviving for another cliche ending where the main killer survived after a really bullshit thing happened. He survived being burnt alive and went to go take revenge on his daughter. Yeah, it was a decent movie, but it reminded me of the Saw movies, and I've never even seen them. I've seen a few parodies here and there, but yeah, it really reminded me of the Saw movies. Play games, try and survive. Yeah, that's about it for this movie.